It's Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood right here. Thanks so much for downloading the podcast and checking us out on YouTube, youtube.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment on everything we do on YouTube. As we get ready for the Bears and Browns at Soldier Field, a frigid Soldier Field on Sunday, we turn now to a three-time Super Bowl champion, talk show host for The Next Level on our station ESPN Cleveland, part of Good Karma Brands. It is the great Jerrod Cherry with us here with Jonathan Hood. Long time no here, JC. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Lost my long-lost brother, man. Ain't seen or heard from you in ages, but we haven't played any Chicago teams of merit of late, so I guess that explains why I haven't heard from you, because I do miss the Cavaliers-Bulls days when we talked on a regular.
I know. I know, exactly. So when the Bulls are actually decent at that time.
Yeah, they were. Well, the Cavs are not doing too hot right now as I speak, but yeah, man, that was some good times.
Jerrod, how's life for you right now, man? How's life?
Well, it was going good until you told me that I had to deal with negative 20-degree weather on Sunday. So, other than that, life was great. And now I had to really have to have a gut check moment and consider my life choices on being a sideline reporter for the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. And minus 20-degree weather. That might be the coldest weather I've experienced. I've been around negative 15, but never negative 20.
That's what they say in the forecast. I would just say whatever you're going to pack, go downtown Chicago and get some more. Get some more.
Yeah, well, I mean, it gets cold in Cleveland, but to be honest with you, I still feel that Chicago's colder. I don't know why. I don't know why Lake Michigan feels colder than Lake Erie, but it do.
Jerrod, you got an interesting situation happening in Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I don't know if you're dealing with this with Emmett on your show on ESPN Cleveland, but I've told young people listening to Cap and J-Hood, our show in the morning, I said, there's a number of you that don't understand Deion Sanders and the irrational confidence that Deion had as a teenager going into playing in college at Florida State, being a professional baseball and football player. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always got confidence. And when I see Shedeur, I think that there's some people that are confused about Shedeur. He grew up in the Sanders household. He's always going to be confident. What's your overall make of Shedeur being a Brown? Because people think it's arrogance. He's just convinced that he can do it.
I think you touched upon a key component to it all. It is a nurture and nature deal. And Lord knows if we're all nurtured in households in which we instill with confidence and support, we'd be better for it. And you're right. Some people see that in Shedeur and what he was raised in as a detriment as opposed to being a positive thing, especially at the quarterback position, because a lot of it goes back to what? Control. Can I control you? Can I get you to do what I want you to do? Or because you have wealth, or because you have a sense of who you are and a flooring and a grounding and a foundation, I can't control you. And people fear that. A lot of times coaches flat out just fear that, J-Hood. So the fact that this young man has been through, I won't call it an ordeal, but he's been experienced. I mean, you call what took place on the draft day an ordeal, but I think he's better for it. I think that right there probably shook his confidence. And the next thing in life is to see, how do you handle adversity? How do you respond? And I know people don't want to hear this, who are the centers of Shedeur Sanders. The fact that he came in this late, I don't care if it is the Tennessee Titans, and was able to throw for 300-plus yards with a makeshift offensive line and not obviously the best situation offensively, and to do what he's done, that tells you everything you just said as far as what Deion instilled in him and keeping that confidence, and it's impressive.
You asked on Twitter if Shedeur Sanders was a starter at the beginning of the season, would things be different? How would you answer that question yourself?
That's a great question. And
well, what's your question? Well, Jerrod, it's your question. So
I gave myself props, right? That's a great question.
Yes, because it's yours.
And that's the part where I'm not sure on it, because on one hand, I firmly believe that give no one anything, because what happens when adversity does kick in? You don't either appreciate it or you don't know how to deal with the problems that may come your way. But when you go through something, you have mental blocks to build upon to say, okay, I experienced this. This is how I handled it. So in a lot of ways, I think it was good for him. But from a progression standpoint, I'm saying that it's all about reps. At the end of the day, you get better by playing football. No ifs and buts about it. That's how you get better. Mental reps can only take you so far. So from a ahead of the game standpoint, because we talk so much about the ability to throw anticipatory passes, I would say he'd be way ahead on that. And he was able to get some semblance of that down within a week's time after us lamenting about him not being able to do it well the previous week. So I think he'd be further ahead. But as far as his own growth and maturation as a human being, I think he's better for what he was going through.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line for the Browns and protection for Shedeur?
I mean, these guys are doing a better job, much better than they were doing in the beginning of the year for Joe Flacco, because basically Joe Flacco stood there as a statue and got demolished.
Yeah.
And that was not a good thing. So they've been better. I mean, it's been makeshift. Some guys who Shedeur's worked with in what they call the hungry dog period when he wasn't a starter, in which he worked after practice with these guys, that's paying off because they got some timing and a semblance and understanding of, okay, this is what he likes to do, this is how he moves around and all that. So that's been a blessing in disguise. But ultimately, the offensive line has been not up to snuff of what we're used to and accustomed to around here with offensive line play. But they obviously did enough because, again, you don't amass 350-plus yards passing on any NFL team without some help from your offensive line.
You remember the old match game, the old game show, right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I think it's still on now, as a matter of fact, match game. So fill in the blank that Myles Garrett is the best defensive player that you've seen since
Lawrence Taylor.
Damn.
No doubt about it.
That's pretty strong.
It's the same issue.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not stand LT as a kid because I was a 49ers fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he would wreck shop against the 49ers. Actually, he wouldn't do as much damage. You know who would do damage against the 49ers? Here's a name for you, Jim Burt.
Wow.
Like, why is this dude killing us? So, that being said, though, man, I'm on the sideline, J-Hood, so I see the triple teams, the double teams, the game planning to avoid him. Okay, we're going to pass deep when he's off the field. All right, we're going to throw short when he's on the field. All right, we're going to run away from him when he's on the field. I see that on a weekly basis. This level of domination and attention is LT-worthy or esque.
LT can control a game from his line of scrimmage and help the Giants win the game. You've seen that with Myles, right?
Well, here's the problem. LT had Phil Simms. LT
Yeah.
had our offense. We don't have that. LT had great special teams play. He had complimentary football. What we've learned is that you can be a premier defensive player. However, if the other elements of the football team do not complement what you're doing, you're not going to win. I've literally seen 2 weeks in a row where special teams has done more to hinder the process of winning than helping it.
I want to talk to you about this matchup with the Bears, because from my standpoint, the Bears have been able to do a lot of things and been very opportunistic in the secondary by getting takeaways and punching the ball out, and that only helps the offense. It helps the defense in a big way too. But the problem, Jerrod, is that the Bears have not got enough a pass rush from the defensive line. You see it all the time with the Browns, with Myles Garrett and company. But Montez Sweat, even though he's coming around, some of the others are not getting home. So how difficult is that for a defense where it's seemingly the secondary and the linebackers are doing all the job, like doing everything, and the defensive line is not getting a push? How difficult could that be on a defense for the long haul?
Oh, it's extremely difficult, and it's frustrating, especially if you're in the secondary. You're in the second and third level, and you know you're not going to get any pass rush. You go into each game saying, damn, I'm going to have to do extra, because the rules are already slanted towards the offense having success.
Yeah.
And couple that with no pass rush, they're really going to have some success. So your DBs, put some extra gifts in their Christmas stocking, because they are doing yeoman's work, extra work, to do what they have to accomplish, because it all goes back to, we talk about complementary football with the three phases, special teams, offense, and defense, but the same thing applies to those three levels of the defense. The first level obviously being the defensive line, second level the linebackers, and then the third level the secondary. But if you're not getting any push, any pass rush, you got to cover your you-know-what. You got to stay in zones longer. The plays last longer. And that does not help the cause, because at the end of the game, I'm sure these guys are blown. But I will tell you this. A lot of people are hating on the Bears and saying, the point differential is not sustainable and that you guys can't win. I say, granted, you lost last week, the fact that you're winning I'll take that. That's progress.
Right.
The fact that you started off slow and with some question marks and found a way to get the job done. And Caleb Williams is figuring things out and making things happen. There's promise there. So I'm encouraged for you guys and what I'm seeing. Yes, the defensive line can be fixed with a draft pick. You can find a guy coming out of college that can get to the quarterback. You can find that, or via free agency.
Yeah, when it comes to the quarterback position with Caleb, it's a work in progress. I'm thankful for the running game that the Bears had with Swift and Monangai. The offensive line, it's been, Jerrod, it has been night and day, the offensive line, for where it was last couple of years under Eberflus to where it is now. Ryan Poles finds some veterans to be able to help the running game, and also running lanes for Caleb when he wants to run as well. So, I mean, as far as Caleb Williams being a young quarterback, what would you say about a young man that can get smoked through a keyhole? There's some of the things that he does offensively is amazing. Like the kind of throws, the way he spins the ball is great. But sometimes you just wonder about the layups where he's missing his receivers by 5 yards, overthrowing. I just wonder how does that get fixed this year or with time? Because that's the only thing missing in his game is just the touch on the intermediate pass, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, you're onto something, J-Hood, and it's time. I mean, you work on it obviously during the course of the season, but here's the deal. When you're in a game and you're under duress, you're going to go back to what you know. And what he knows is ad-lib, throwing in weird angles, off balance, not setting your feet, and all that type of stuff you learn in off season, right? Mm-hmm. So at some point, what's going to happen with him, like all great athletes, is that these are, and the wear and tear of taking those hits are going to wear on him. And he's going to have to start, and sooner rather than later, working on that pocket pass presence, those anticipatory throws that we talk about, and timing. And here's the crazy thing about it. Those throws are actually easier than what he's doing from an ad-lib standpoint.
Yeah.
Because, again, going back to what I initially said, the league has literally set it up to where you can feast on intermediate throws in those windows and areas where the linebackers in the secondary simply can't get to their drop points fast enough.
Lastly, I want to get your thoughts about your old team, the Patriots. You know, I think the Bears are ahead of schedule, but definitely the Patriots are. I mean, that is
they're ahead of schedule. Man, they left 2 hours ago.
Jerrod, that is a juggernaut now. That is night and day. And by the way, like, I feel bad for Jerrod Mayo because he was kind of like the fill-in, the stopgap for what's happening now. But I want to get your thoughts. What are you hearing in Foxborough about your old team? Because, I mean, you have a young quarterback. But I'm just saying, like, the sky's the limit for the Patriots in year one here with the new coach and new staff.
Yeah, I have a different spin on it, J-Hood, in that it's ironic to me that both guys played under Bill Belichick. Obviously, Jerrod did, and Braves played with me.
Yep.
And we were under Bill. It felt like Jerrod's tenure was to erase the memory of the Belichickian and Patriots way and start anew with a different approach, if you will, and not make it as dictatorial, if that's a word,
yes,
as it once was with Bill running in everything and controlling everything. That obviously did not work, going with the more probably collaborative approach. Now you have a situation where Mike, I believe, brings both elements of that, in that he'll tell it like it is, not to say Jerrod wasn't, but you get a sense and feel that they're back to doing things the Patriots way. Team over self, getting guys to outplay what they're supposed to be doing. No one saw this offense and said it was going to be a juggernaut. No one said to themselves that, okay, Drake May is going to take a step to where he's going to be in competition for most valuable player of the year award winner, along with, who are we talking about, guy out with the Rams. No one saw that taking place. So it's just, again, having the right messaging, having the right messenger, and conveying the right words, getting guys to buy in and believing. Going back to how we initially started this conversation about confidence and instilling that, and being able to get guys to understand how to play football at a high level, how to play as a team, and how to get on the same page, and understand that a lot of times you'll beat teams by just simply being on the same page and having the same approach and the same goals and aspirations as a collective. And a lot of people don't talk about that component of it, and it's all X's and O's and analytics and all that stuff. But sometimes, man, it's just sheer emotion and how you get guys to bend their will to a common cause and to outwill the other opponent.
How's the Browns running game? Because it looks like you're going to have to run the football 50 times in this cold.
They're going to run 1,000 times. That means the game will be over in 2 hours. How about that?
Because I'm going to tell you right now, we sure as hell going to run the football. The Browns ready? Can the Browns run the football against the Bears D? Let's see that.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, Quinshon Judkins is the truth. He's a for real deal. Now, I don't know how any of these guys are going to respond in those temperatures, to be honest with you. Because truth be told, it's going to be harder for the Browns than it is for the Bears because you guys still have playoff aspirations. You're still trying to get somewhere. We're done. Only thing we got going for us is evaluation mode. To understand that, hey, everyone's evaluating you. That's the only thing we got going for us. So the question remains, guys who are going to be here no matter what, will they come to play? Will Miles be concerned about getting his sack record? Will Judkins, as far as the running game is concerned, want to reach that 1,000-yard mark and give you full-fledged effort in tremendously what it sounds like cold weather?
Yeah, it will be. Did you finish your Christmas shopping yet, sir?
Man, I ain't even started.
Me either.
And it's coming up quick, too. Today the 10th.
Hey, man, you working. Look, man, just gift cards. Gift cards is fine. Gift cards.
Yeah, I prefer them, actually.
Yeah. I just think that's the simplest way now because malls are not like they used to be. So just go ahead, just let people get whatever they want. Just hand out gift cards, Jerrod, and that way you're just good. You don't have to worry about it.
Yep, call it a day. I'm with you on that. Call it a day.
Hey, man, I'm going to be on the next level with you and Emmett on Friday, so I look forward to our conversation. But I'm glad you stopped by, man. It's good to rekindle.
No problem, J-Hood. It's always a pleasure, my man.
Great to hear from Jerrod Cherry, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, right here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for your support of the podcast and also on YouTube as well, youtube.com. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe, and comment on the things that we talk about. Great preview of the Bears and Browns. We got so much that we're providing for you, the sports fan, and so we'll continue to do that. And we're doing it right here, Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood.